Hello, Lobo fans. Welcome inside the R.D. and Joan Dale Hubbard Clubhouse at the University of New Mexico. It is our first sit-down with Coach Brown. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy. We're presented by TLC Plumbing and Utility. We have Tod Brown, the brand new head baseball coach at the University of New Mexico. Coach Brown, it's great to meet you. It's great to be with you. Welcome to Albuquerque. Welcome to campus. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. I'm very excited about everything that's been going on. It's been crazy, but good crazy. I've been telling our players that, you know, it's a lot of touch and base, a lot of time on the phone, but I couldn't be more excited.
Tell us about the crazy. I mean, you just had your NDSU team in a regional, and now all of a sudden you're wearing cherry and silver.
Yeah, I was very impressed right from the get-go. They knew how important our season was and how special this team was. So going through the process, they really kind of, the administration here at New Mexico kind of backed off, gave me my space to have a good championship run, won the Summit League, moved on to the Palo Alto Regional. And then after that regional is when things really started heating up, and came in for an on-campus interview. And I tell you, everything that I thought I knew was confirmed when I got on campus. Did
this facility that we're sitting in today help seal the deal for you?
Yeah, it was one of the things, but you know, the town, the community, the weather, the administration, it's very important to work for people that have the same vision and plan as you do. And then you throw the baseball facilities and the campus and everything about it, being back in the Southwest as an Arizona kid, it's really special to be back in the Southwest.
Yeah, in his introductory press conference, he said it's a little bit like coming home, coming back to the Southwest. You know, I thought I'd ask you because you talked about it in your career, you needed to leave the Southwest to cut your teeth, but you took a huge leap. I mean, you went to a completely different part of the country. You could have done your apprenticeship a lot closer to home. Why did you go all the way where you did to do your apprenticeship at Bowling Green and then NDSU?
Well, to be honest, Bowling Green's the only one that gave me the opportunity, and it was just too good to pass up. It was just my wife and I, no kids yet. We packed our bags, moved to Bowling Green, Ohio. We thought we'd be there 1, 2, 3, 4 years and back in the Southwest, and 22 baseball seasons, here we are. But those 8 years at Bowling Green and 14 years as the head coach at North Dakota State put me in a position to get this job. And I'm very thankful to both of those universities for giving me that opportunity. And now it's time for me to come back home to the Southwest and be the head coach here at New Mexico and win a lot of games.
We want you to get to know Coach Brown just a little bit, your wife Janet, your children Brooks and Blake. Would you tell us a little about them?
Well, Janet and I went to high school together at Sabino High School in Tucson, Arizona. Both went to University of Arizona, graduated, married quickly after college graduation, and then we both immersed ourselves in our careers. She's a dietitian. I got into coaching, and we've been doing it ever since. In Bowling Green, we had 2 kids. Brooks is 20 and a half, college kid. He's playing baseball at Valley City State University, just outside of Fargo. Pitcher and infielder, so he's enjoying that. And our daughter Blake just graduated from high school, is going to be attending North Dakota State. So we're really proud of them and all their accomplishments, but they're really excited to come down and visit mom and dad down in the Southwest and see the grandparents too, because they're just a short car ride away.
Share with the fans, you already told the media in your introductory presser of what your son said when the opportunity came about to come to the University of New Mexico.
Yeah, he said yes, oh yeah, hell yes. And this is, we have really good kids. My wife is kind of the glue that keeps everything together, especially with me being gone and the crazy world of coaching. And this was a family decision before it really got deep. If any of the family members were not in favor of this, it was not going to work out. I was going to pull out, and they were all 100% in, and my son was, hell yes, we're going.
I love it. You mentioned it's important to work for people that you trust, that you believe in, that believe in you. And Coach Brown actually talked about both his former AD and his current AD at North Dakota State being instrumental in helping you make this decision to move to New Mexico. You really believed in those guys, and it sounds like they believed in this opportunity for you.
Yeah. Gene Taylor hired me at North Dakota State. He gave me a chance as a MAC assistant. Think about that, a MAC assistant getting a Division I head coaching job just doesn't happen very often. He gave me an opportunity and gave me a chance and gave me some, time to get it going. And it took a few years, but we got the program in the right direction, and it really took off. I'm so thankful for Gene to give me this opportunity at North Dakota State. And then Matt Larson took over, and you talk about a seamless transition. As a coach, you're always worried about who your new boss is going to be, and I tell you, North Dakota State went to another level with Matt Larson behind the helm, and both of those guys were 100% encouraging me to look into this opportunity and pursue it. And then ultimately, when I got the offer, they were both very happy for me and very thankful that they gave me the right guidance. And they're just so easy to work for. And to be honest with you, when I came on my interview and through the interview process, Eddie Nunez is somebody that I found out a lot about through my connections about him, and then meeting him face to face. And he's somebody that I really feel comfortable working for, and he comes highly recommended. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, I love the term dirtbag. It's a baseball term. If you're described that way, that means you're hard-nosed, you're tough. But I want you to give the fans an idea of what you think that means and why you use that to describe your NDSU teams and why you think that's the kind of player you like to have on your team.
Well, because it gives you an opportunity to win the games in so many different ways. And it's fun for the fans to watch. Guys that go out and play hard. And it probably originated with, dirt on the field, and at the end of the game is dirt all over his uniform. Now we're playing on turf a lot these days, so it's hard to get dirty, but it's just the mentality that we want mentally and physically tough kids because it's really tough to play college baseball. There's a lot of games in a short amount of time, and it's very competitive. And we want guys that are here for the right reasons, get a great education, and win a lot of games and graduate and hopefully move on and play professional baseball.
It's our introductory sit down with Coach Brown, Tod Brown, the new baseball coach at the University of New Mexico. We're presented by TLC Plumbing and Utility. We're going to talk some more baseball.
Great.
But the fans, I know you love the rapid fire. We've done this with our new hires here recently, and these are pretty quick, hopefully easy, simple answer type questions, but fun get to know you type stuff.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite food?
Well, it's going to be Mexican food now, but probably steak.
Okay. How do you like it cooked?
Medium.
What about, you're obviously a baseball guy. Do you have a favorite team?
I'll go with Diamondbacks, but they're on a skid right now, and it's not a good skid. So, but I'm sticking with my Diamondbacks.
Because you're an Arizona guy.
Yeah, because I'm an Arizona guy.
Okay. What kind of music do you listen to?
Everything. I call it my iTod. Not my iPod. I got the iTod.
Look at that.
And so,
that.
And my former players know what I'm talking about. I really enjoy the music they listen to, but I also listen to stuff that they would laugh at. So I have a great mix of everything on the iTod.
Give us one title or one artist that the players might laugh at that you love.
Oh boy, Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite show, TV show you can't miss?
Seinfeld back in the day, and I still love watching the reruns.
Okay. So you're Seinfeld all the way.
I love Seinfeld.
Because of how old I am and when it came out, my movie is Star Wars. You got a favorite movie?
A Few Good Men's up there.
Oh, awesome. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Who was your favorite ball player growing up as a kid?
Boy, Lenny Dykstra was one of them. I loved the way that he played.
Hard-nosed.
He's
a dirtbag.
He was a dirtbag, and maybe that's kind of how I formed. But I just really liked the way that he played. That was one of my favorite ones growing up.
Did you have a favorite sport other than baseball?
I played soccer probably longer. I started soccer at 5 years old and played all the way through my senior year in high school. Also played football, but soccer was probably, soccer, baseball were my two main sports growing up.
Why baseball? Why did it end up being baseball for you, your passion, your career?
Well, it's a good question. Being left-handed, I just kept having success and getting more opportunities. And as you know, being a left-handed pitcher is such an advantage. I hit right-handed, and so you quickly find out that was a mistake, that my dad put golf clubs in my hand way too early, and I picked them up right-handed. But being left-handed really advanced my career. And if I was right-handed, I would not have played at the University of Arizona. I can identify with that. I would have been a coach long before that happened. But being left-handed gave me an opportunity because it's hard to find left-handers that throw strikes. And probably because I was left-handed, it really advanced my career.
Coach Brown played for one of the true legends of the college game, Jerry Kendall at the University of Arizona. I would imagine that your philosophies, the tenets that you instill in your players, started back then, didn't they?
Yeah, it sure did. You know, you just don't appreciate when you're 18 to 22-year-old, just does not appreciate the greatness that I witnessed over the 5 years that I played for him. And that goes for Jim Wing, our pitching coach, Jerry Stitt, the hitting coach. Those guys are some of the best men in the history of college baseball, and I couldn't be thankful for allowing me to be a part of their program. But, you know, as you learn in life, you look back and there's so many things that I'm doing now that are instilled because of those 5 years at Arizona. I
love that you started your coaching career at home in Tucson, and you had some amazing ball players at the high school in Tucson, didn't you?
I did. I was very fortunate. I tell the funny story that I did get as I say, a cup of coffee with the Cleveland Indians. It was in spring training, and I quickly found out that Bartolo Colon was a lot better than I am. And so they gave me my walking papers, but we tell our players, this is why you go to school and get your degree. When baseball comes to an end, it's going to be abrupt and it's going to be hard. And I took about a month to feel sorry for myself and got a job at Sabino High School, where my wife and I went. And we had some really, really good players. We won a state championship. And, you know, it's pretty easy when you have J.J. Hardy as your starting shortstop as a high schooler. And Jamie Vermillier, right-handed pitcher, got to work with him in high school. And he was a Lobo and played in the major leagues. So it's all coming full circle. But, you know, those are really, really good times to get back into, you know, to start off at the high school level and work your way up is kind of the old-fashioned way, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
The baseball world is so small. I worked for a AA team in Huntsville, Alabama, when J.J. Hardy was coming up through the Brewers system, and he came to Huntsville with Corey Hart and Dave Krinzel, a triumvirate of prospects off the charts. Two of them made the major leagues. Could you tell J.J. was a big leaguer right away?
He was special, and I don't want it to be known, I have nothing to do with the success of his major league career, so I'm not trying to ride on his coattails. He was good, and the only thing you can give me a compliment is I didn't screw him up. He was special.
Yeah, fantastic player. Okay, I'm sure the fans would love to hear what Coach Brown's vision for the program here at the University of New Mexico is. It's a program with a rich tradition and a lot of history. With an outgoing head coach, you had a ton of success in Ray Birmingham over 14 seasons. Interesting, 14 years you had at NDSU before coming here to the University of New Mexico. How do you see it? What do the Lobos look like under Coach Brown?
Well, we want to play a lot of home games, bring in quality opponents. We want to compete in a year in, year out for a conference championship in the Mountain West. That's the expectations, and I think there's plenty of talent in this region to do so. You know, winning is very, very important, but we want to win the right way. And, you know, leadership is somebody with a vision and a plan, and my plan is to recruit the right type of athletes that are coming here for the right reasons and love baseball and want to see how far baseball can take them. And when that time comes to an end, that they're in a good position because they got their quality education here at New Mexico.
And what is your coaching staff going to look like?
Well, John Coyne is going to be retained. And probably here in 24, 48 hours, my pitching coach will be named. We're going through the process right now. And we have a volunteer involved. He's coming, but he's also involved in a full-time paid position. So that will be probably next week. John Bentley is our director of ops, and he is staying on. I couldn't be more excited for John Bentley to be on. It's really coming into shape. And I tell you, when I tell the players who's on staff and what's coming, they're super excited about and energized about the program. You know, that Coach Birmingham really started and built, and I'm just trying to be here and help out, and I'm hopeful that the alums will come around because this is their program, and I'm just the next head coach here, but those alums, I can't wait to meet them and welcome them back to the ballpark.
Coach Birmingham, I'm sure, has told you this, and other coaches that you've talked to about the University of New Mexico and baseball here, you've heard teams always hit here.
Yeah.
It's the pitching that separates the good teams from the great teams here at the University of New Mexico. It's tough to get great pitchers to come here, and it's tough to get them to have success here. The altitude, the thin, dry air, the ball flies, even in a big ballpark. It's a hitter's haven. It's a hard place to pitch. you're a pitching guy. You're a pitching coach. You pitched yourself as a pro. Have you thought about that and what that might look like?
Absolutely. The first thing, in fact, on my interview, I told them the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get the pitching staff going. We're going to fix the pitching staff, and it's going to be mainly with my hire, along with things that I have done over my career. But it's going to be a full team effort to get the pitching staff going, and it really starts in recruiting. We got to get some guys that have a little bit of swing and miss to their fastball, their breaking ball. Guys with some movement can keep the ball on the floor versus up in the air. Those are things that we're looking for in the recruiting process. But really, it just comes down to guys want and desire, and being super competitive and a strike thrower with multiple pitches is what we're looking for.
One of the other things Coach Brown has told us is he loves to have his team put pressure on the other team. I'll go back to the J.J. Hardy discussion. His manager at AA Huntsville in the Brewers organization was Frank Kremlis. I never saw a manager at any level with the pedal to the floor 100% of the time like that guy. His whole goal was to make the other team uncomfortable every single pitch of every single game, every inning, the entire season. I love that you've talked about that. Obviously, in the day and age of analytics, you don't want to run into outs and you want to wait for that 3-run homer. But it's a little bit different in college, isn't it, than it is in the professional game? And what's your philosophy there?
Well, you just basically summed it up, is put pressure on them at all times. You're either feeling pressure or you're applying pressure. And we want to try to apply pressure at all times. As a hitter, we want to have good disciplined hitters, guys that are not swinging at pitches that Babe Ruth couldn't hit. And then once on the base paths is taking advantage of balls in the dirt, pitchers that are slow to the plate, or catchers that can't throw to second base quickly or accurately. So those are things that we look forward to. And to be honest, it's a lot of trust in your players. You've got to trust that these guys are seeing what's going on. Can we run in breaking ball counts? Hey, every time he gets 2-1, he's throwing a breaking ball, we're going to run in 2-1 counts with this guy on the mound. These are things that we can study and learn behind the scenes. It'd be really great just to clap and wait for the 3-run homer, but in college baseball, you have to be able to score in multiple ways. We want guys that can hit home runs, but also can drag bunt, push bunt, hit and run, steal bases, delay steal. These are things, go to first and third on people, can run. That's a total offense, so that when it's a day that we need to score 17 runs to win the game, we have the ability and the right personnel to do so. But also on the days that's really tough to hit, or you got some really good pitching, and it's going to take 2 or 3 runs is about all you can get. We got to really pitch and defend and find ways to use small ball to score those runs.
Let's wrap up with this quickly. I wanted to give the fans, it's their first chance to see you sitting in your new home here at the University of New Mexico. Just give them a little message. What would you like to say to the New Mexico fans as you take over as the head coach of their baseball program? And we obviously want to see them out at Santa Ana Starfield in droves this upcoming season.
Well, I think we're going to put together, in fact, I know we're going to put together a program that you're going to be extremely proud to root for and to follow. I'm anxious to meet a lot of people in the community and get out there. And come springtime, we're really looking for a packed stadium and fans to come out, because it's going to be a great experience at the ballpark. Looking forward to meeting everybody.
Tod Brown, it's great to be with you for the first time.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.
That'll do it for us. Our first sit down with Coach Brown from the RD and Joandale Clubhouse at the University of New Mexico. I'm Robert Portnoy. So long, everybody, and go Lobos.